At the beginning of the movie, we are shown Sergei, a small child who successfully climbs a tree, proudly sharing his achievement with his mother and brother. Suddenly, a German plane appeared overhead. Their mother told them to hide, but Sergei said he wasn't afraid of them. He grabbed his slingshot and aimed at the jet. Surprisingly, he hit it successfully, causing it to explode. However, when Sergei looked down, he realized his family was nowhere to be found. The scene shifts to Sergei. We learn that it was just a dream. Then, someone knocks on his door, and thinking it's his mother, Sergei quickly goes to open it. But instead, a concerned woman from the neighborhood comes in. She is relieved that Sergei is alive. When Sergei asks about his mother and brother, the woman sadly informs him that they have been killed. Their town has been attacked by Germans, and they might kill you too. She tries to convince Sergei to go with her and pretend to be her son. Since Sergei is young and doesn't fully comprehend the situation, he wishes to stay inside the house. Hoping that his mother will come back, he keeps calling for his mother. Suddenly, some soldiers approach their house. The woman helps Sergei escape through a window, but unfortunately, she gets shot and dies. As Sergei runs away from his house, he looks back and sees his entire village on fire. He shouts for his mom, but she is not there, so he continues running without stopping. After running for some time, Sergei finds himself in a forest and gets scared because he doesn't know where he is. He calls for his mother to come and find him. The next morning, while he drinks water from a river, he hears soldiers coming close to him. He quickly hides inside the roots of a tree to avoid being seen. He gets scared when a snake comes near him, but he manages to stay quiet until the soldiers left. The soldiers cooked and ate their food near the river and then went away. After they left, Sergei found the leftover food and ate it because he was hungry. However, after some time, the little boy becomes very tired. He falls down but still keeps limping forward. He hasn't eaten a proper meal and has been walking without knowing where to go. He sees some wild berries and eats them quickly. All of a sudden, there is a big explosion right behind him, and it really shocks him. As a result, he falls down to the ground. He starts imagining that there is someone nearby, so he picks up a piece of wood and begins talking to the imaginary person. He says, "Don't come any closer to me. I'm not scared of you. I have a rifle." He keeps walking with difficulty, but eventually, he falls down and loses consciousness. However, after some time, 2 Russian soldiers find him. The scene shifts to a Russian army base, where Commander Kuznetsov is engaged in a discussion about their upcoming operation. The scout arrives, carrying Sergei in his arms. Sergei looks very tired and scared. When the commander tells Sergei that they are his friends and asks for his name, Sergei tells his name and extends his hand, inviting the commander to introduce himself as well. When the soldiers ask the child about his mother, it makes him cry. The soldiers feel sorry for him and try to make him feel better by telling him that men aren't supposed to cry. Afterwards, they also provide him with food and drinks. Later, when Nurse Katya treats Sergei's wounds with medicine, he asks her to draw a tank. Feeling very affectionate towards him, she takes care of him all the time. The commander visits Sergei and listens to Sergei's story about what happened to him. Sergei expresses his desire to become a commander like him. Sergei asks the commander if he can see his gun, and the commander allows him to hold and play with it after removing the bullets. In return, Sergei proudly reveals his own weapon by showing a tank drawing on his stomach. Nurse Katya asks the commander if Sergei can stay with the battalion, but the commander disagrees. He thinks it's not safe and wants to send Sergei to an orphanage instead. Katya really wants to keep Sergei with her because she has grown very fond of him. She has become deeply attached to him and cares about him a lot. All the soldiers in the camp have also become very fond of Sergei and don't want him to go to an orphanage. They ask the commander once again not to send Sergei away, but the commander refuses to change his mind. The day arrives when Sergei has to go to the orphanage. The commander gives Sergei a wooden pistol. While explaining that a car has arrived to take Sergei away, the commander avoids direct eye contact because Sergei's innocent face makes it difficult for him. Deep down, the commander also loves Sergei very much. Sergei hugs the commander and expresses his worry about the commander's safety. The commander is deeply touched and has a change of heart. He asks Sergei if he wants to be his son, and Sergei agrees. That night, the soldiers and Katya are really happy and are figuring out how to create Sergei's army uniform. In the morning, the commander wakes up Sergei and pleasantly surprises him with a uniform. As soon as Sergei puts it on, he excitedly runs around the camp. The soldiers are equally delighted to see him dressed in a uniform and affectionately call him Soldier Boy. While the boy is happily running around, the Germans suddenly attack the soldiers with airstrikes. The soldiers quickly take Sergei to a safe place and fight back. Unfortunately, many soldiers get hurt during the battle. Sergei wants to help them, so he starts giving water to the injured soldiers. One soldier, who has bandages over his eyes, asks Sergei to read a letter. Even though Sergei doesn't know how to read and doesn't want to disappoint him, he makes up his own words and tells the soldier that his family loves him a lot and that their cow gives lots of milk. The soldier responds by saying he doesn't actually have a cow. Then another soldier tells the blind soldier to just listen to what Sergei is saying, and they all laugh. Later, Sergei sings a song to lift their spirits. The scene changes to the commander and Katya. The commander wants to say something to her but ends up saying something else instead. They seem to like each other but can't express their feelings. Sergei asks about the commander and who he should thank for his soldier's uniform. It is revealed that the person who made Sergei's uniform was killed in the attack. The next day, Sergei pretends to shave. Two soldiers come up to him and ask if he's getting ready for a date. But Sergei replies that soldiers don't go on dates. Sergei asked the commander for a mission and was assigned the task of delivering letters to the soldiers. He gave them their letters and even made them dance. While playing with his binoculars away from the base, Sergei spotted a moving leg in a haystack. He quickly returned to the soldiers and shared what he saw. Although they initially doubted him, they decided to accompany him. They found two German spies hiding in the haystack, captured them, and praised Sergei for his alertness. Later, the commander shows Sergei the legal adoption papers, officially declaring himself as Sergei's father. Sergei knows that the commander and Katya have feelings for each other, wanting to bring them closer. Sergei takes the commander to meet Katya, hoping they would express their feelings for each other. However, upon arriving at Katya's location, they see her engaged in a conversation with another soldier, leading them to mistakenly assume a relationship between them. The base is attacked by the Germans again, and Sergei helps the soldiers by giving them more bullets for their guns. The soldiers tell him to go back to Commander Dugout. However, when he arrives at the commander's location, he sees that they are trying to communicate with headquarters for help, but the wire connection is broken. The commander instructs a soldier to go and fix the connection, and Sergei follows him. Upon seeing that the soldier is injured, Sergei asks him how to fix the wire, and he restores the connection. Because of his bravery and intelligence, they once again win the fight. Sergei lies to Katya, telling her that the commander is very sick and unable to eat or drink. Worried, Katya rushes to the commander. However, when she arrives, she discovers that he is not sick at all. The commander asks who told her about his illness, and she looks around for Sergei, who is not there. Confused and angry, Katya runs away, with the commander following her. In the meantime, the commander gathers the courage to express his feelings to Katya, asking if she would like to be Sergei's mother. However, before she can respond, a letter arrives from headquarters, informing them that they have to relocate the division to a different base. While the military division is moving to another base, they step on a landmine, resulting in the death of the orderly, Rizzo, who was also a close friend of the commander. Sergei cries and hugs the commander, telling him that Rizzo is lying there. Later, when they arrive at their destination, the general is also impressed by Sergei's presence. One night, the Germans heavily attack their base. During the attack, artillery fire hits the commander's underground shelter, trapping him under the debris. The young boy tries to rescue the commander alone but can't succeed. He quickly runs to inform the other soldiers about the situation. Thankfully, they are able to save the commander, although he suffers severe injuries. The movie ends with a scene showing the regiment moving to another location. The narrator in the background explains that Sergei always stays with the regiment, just like their family, and even takes part in the Battle of Stalingrad in Poland. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.